Hello everyone, welcome back to one more data analyst project. My name is Vineet Patyal and today we are discussing a project Retail Store Business Analysis. This project is slightly different from the previous projects as in this project we are not manually downloading the dataset as we are using Kaggle APIs to fetch the dataset and download it directly through Jupyter Notebook into my system. So this is the complete cycle of the project. Firstly, we are going to create a public API token and select the project data URL of the data that we want to work on in this project, and then download the dataset from Kaggle public API into via Jupyter Notebook. And after that, we will do data cleaning and processing with the use of pandas library in Python. And after that, we're gonna load data in MySQL and prepare data for analysis. And the last, we're gonna do data analysis with MySQL. So let's begin. So the project is divided into 4 parts. The part 1 is download dataset. In this, step 1 would be go to Kaggle website and sign in or sign up for a Kaggle account first. Step 2 would be go to settings option. Let me show you. So here's my Kaggle account. You just have to go to settings option on the right panel. When you click on your user profile, you will go into settings. At here you will find the option create new token in API section. You have to create a token first. This token will be downloaded into your download files that you have to copy or cut paste into your C drive directory. Let me show you. In C drive you have to go into users. In users there would be a folder by your name or whatever name is of your system, and at here you have to find a folder .kaggle where you will paste your downloaded API token file. If you don't see any folder, you just have to create a .kaggle folder, new folder, and then paste your new API token file that you have just downloaded. Let's get back to our project presentation. Step 2, to go to settings option, scroll down and look for API section as we discussed. Step 3 is once API token is downloaded, we need to paste that file in a local user directory as discussed. Step 4, open the project dataset. After completing the cut paste process, you have to again go to on your Kaggle website and you have to select the data set that on which you want to work. For example, in my Kaggle profile, there's a retail order dataset. Once I open the dataset page, you can see the size of the file. The name of the file is orders.csv. These are the columns provided in this particular dataset. And what you have to do, you have to come here at the URL part, and after dataset slash, you have to copy this part, and you have to copy this part, and then you have to open the Jupyter Notebook. You have to launch the Jupyter Notebook where we gonna paste this particular URL part to download the dataset directly through Kaggle API. So let's see how it will be done. Then launch your Jupyter Notebook, and in Jupyter Notebook you have to install Python Kaggle package and import Kaggle, and after that this is a code that you have to use, and here you have to paste a URL that we have copied and followed by -f orders.csv, the name of the file. Once you write down the particular code, you just have to shift enter and the download process will start. And after that you have to import zip file again because it's a zip file that you will download in the system, after fetching from the API, the file that we will get would be a zip file, and to extract the Excel sheet or CSV sheet from that particular zip folder, we have to use import zip file package, and this is a code for that. So this is the part 1 of the particular project, how to download the dataset using Kaggle APIs. Second part is all about data cleaning with pandas. So these are the particular steps that I have followed to clean up the data. For example, read data from the file and handle null values, in which we have replaced null values in ship mode column with nan. Then rename columns names. We rename the column names and make them lowercase and replace space with underscore. Third would be derive new column discount, sale price and profit. So we implemented 3 more columns in the dataset. We used aggregation function like multiplication and subtraction to create 3 columns with discount, sale price and profit. Then convert order date from object data type to date time object type. Convert data type format for order date column into date time format. Why we are doing this? So that we can easily load data into MySQL and we don't get any errors while performing analysis in MySQL. And then drop cost price, list price and discount percent columns, as we don't need these particular 3 columns, and we dropped these columns of the dataset. So now we are on the part 3, load data and prepare data for analysis. So at here we have to load the data into MySQL server using append / replace function. We can use any of the one function to load data into MySQL. Step 1 would be installing the 2 libraries and importing the same. So these are the 2 libraries, Python MySQL, and we have to import it. Then we have to install SQL Alchemy, and we have to import create engine from SQL Alchemy. Step 3 is create new database in MySQL by name retail orders. You can give any name to your database, a new database in MySQL, and you have to create a blank table with all required columns of a data set that we will see in the data frame while doing the cleaning. All the columns that you had, the final columns, you have to create a blank table including those columns in your table. So I have named the particular table orders, assigning appropriate data types to maintain the storage efficiency. And this is a code. This is a complete code that I have divided into part 1 and part 2. We will further discuss what all there in this particular code. Let's discuss the part 1 of step 3. In part 1 of the code, so this is a code in which these are the driver names, MySQL and Python MySQL, and after that I have given the username and the password of my server. This is a server name that I have given, and the database that I have created, I will be mentioning it. And in the second part of the method or code, so this is data frame dot to SQL, as we are transferring to SQL. In bracket, then we have blank table, the name of the table that we have created with columns, the blank table, and then followed by the database object name. This is the object name, database object name, and then the method is there. If exists, then append or index false. This is a method. You can also use replace function at here, but make sure that you create the blank table first in MySQL and provide particular data types. If you don't create a table, then using this particular function, it will load the data into MySQL and will assign the data types by default, and that will be not very much efficient into storage. So this is a part 4 after transferring the data to MySQL. So these are the queries that we have used for the analysis of a data set. Find top 10 highest revenue generating products. So this is a code. Then we have find top 5 highest selling products in each region. So there are 4 regions, like divided into 4 regions: central, east, southern and western region. Find month over month growth comparison for 2022 and 2023 sales. Example, January 2022 versus January 2023. So this data set consists of all the data for 2 years, 2022 and 2023. So this is a function that we have used. We have used conditional formatting function of case end. Fourth query is for each category which month had highest sales. So for each category we have to get the highest month with the highest sales. We have to get the month with the highest. So this is a query, and the query is which subcategory had highest growth by profit in 2023 compared to 2022. So in this we are using CTE function. And here's the output. So subcategory machines has given the maximum profit growth. So this particular project consists of all these particular things, and I have also shared the raw files, the Jupyter notebook file and SQL script file in my GitHub profile. I'll share the link in the post. Do check it there. If you have any queries, you can DM me. Thank you.